Should you buy soft, medium, or hard bassoon reeds? In this video, I'm going to describe to you what those terms mean, how pro bassoonists think about reed softness and hardness, and what kind of reed you should get based on your experience level. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Natalie Law. I'm a professional bassoonist and a professional reed maker, and I'm happy to have you here. So what do the terms soft, medium, and hard mean in relation to bassoon reeds? So to understand why a lot of reed companies will put soft, medium, hard, or sometimes medium soft or medium hard labels on their reeds really comes from single reeds. Single reeds like clarinet reeds and saxophone reeds are graded based on their strength or their hardness level. So you want to get either a 1.5 or a 2 or a 2.5 or a 3 strength or whatever that means. That sort of thinking has sort of transitioned over into double reeds, soft being an easier to play beginner level reed, medium being the next step up, and then hard being advanced. But unfortunately, those terms just don't map onto bassoon reeds as easily as they do on single reeds. Single reeds are basically just one kind of flat piece of cane that vibrates against a mouthpiece that is stable and does not change, and you're only dealing with one side of that vibration being the changeable thing. With double reeds, bassoon and oboe reeds, we have two pieces of cane tied together that are vibrating against each other. And instead of one of those sides being sort of stable and unchanging, both of those sides can be very variable. They can be out of balance with each other. They're very susceptible to changes in their environment. There's a lot more complexity to these reeds than there are to single reeds. It's sort of like taking a 2D reed. Clarinet saxophone reeds are not 2D, but it's sort of the same idea, sort of a 2D reed to sort of a 3D reed, where we have part of the reed is round and goes into a flat part. There's a lot of differences there. It's really hard to map the same type of hardness level or ability level onto bassoon reeds. Pro bassoonists do not talk about, I'm going to make a soft reed, or I need a hard reed to play, or I need medium soft for this, or whatnot. These are solely designations that have sort of artificially been mapped onto reeds by companies that are generally mass producing reeds. And so to understand this a little bit better, I want to talk about what does soft and hard really mean in reed making land? What do pro bassoonists really think about with these terms? You will sometimes hear a bassoonist talk about how, the cane is really soft or the cane is really hard. And those designations are not the same thing as the soft, medium, hard on mass-produced reeds. We're not generally talking about the finished product. We're talking about a quality of the cane. And it tends to be related to the density of the fibers in the cane. The less dense those fibers are, the more soft the reed is going to be. And the closer the fibers are together, the more dense those fibers are, the harder the cane is going to be. Just like everything in bassoon reed making, you want balance. You don't want a piece of cane that is super hard or super soft. You want something right in between, because if the fibers are too far apart, no matter how you scrape on the reed or blow against it, it just doesn't quite vibrate the way that it should. So the reed just might feel kind of muffled or dead. You can't play very loud on it if it has a really soft piece of cane. That's not to say that you can't make a decent reed out of soft cane. It's just a little bit harder to get it to work. It's not going to be the most optimal reed. Similar with hard pieces of cane. What's going to happen when you go to finish that piece of cane with a reed, the fibers are just so close together that they're so stiff, and it doesn't allow vibration through the reed. What'll happen with a hard piece of cane is you go to scrape it and scrape it and scrape it to get it to be easier to play, and no matter how thin you get the cane to be, it'll still be kind of abrasive. The reed might feel like it's kind of barking at you, like it's something's happening, but it's not evenly vibrating all the way throughout. So that is what soft and hard means in pro bassoon land and reed making. And again, that's not the same thing as the soft, medium, hard designations on finished reeds from companies. So I might have just confused you more or brought up a lot of more questions about all these different types of reed designations. What does this actually mean for what type of reed should you buy based on your situation? In the answer to that, I say this all the time and I will keep saying it, you should be buying handmade reeds made by a professional bassoonist. Somebody like me who is taking the time with every piece of cane and all of its individual characteristics and trying to get the reed to a point where it's going to work no matter what the situation is. And I know that a big obstacle that comes up is that these reeds tend to be more expensive. Sometimes they're twice as expensive as a cheaper reed that you might get off Amazon or from your local music store. And there's a reason for that. Just a moment ago, I said every piece of cane is different and requires different adjustments. I have probably made thousands of reeds at this point, all the exact same way, and I make them exactly identical all the way up to a certain point right before I finish them. And some reeds are ready to go right after I get done scraping and they're ready to play. A lot of reeds need some tweaking because of that particular piece of cane. It needs some more cane removed from the channels, or maybe it needs some more cane removed from the spine, or maybe that particular cane is so soft and weak that, my normal scraping process effectively took it too far. Every person like me who is making these reeds is ideally, in most situations, taking the time to make those adjustments before sending it out. And even better, if you're able to communicate with the reed maker and say, hey, I'm a beginner, I need a beginner reed, or hey, I'm a pretty advanced player, I have some reed adjusting skills, make me a more advanced reed that maybe you would be willing to play on. If you order a reed on my website and you write in the order notes, I'm a beginner, I'm a first year player, then what I will do is I'll do my same reed process up to a certain point, and then I will likely take off a little bit more cane than I normally would for a reed, say for myself. Because I'm prioritizing response. I want the reed to be as easy to play as possible without having to do any adjustments, just making it work so you can focus on playing the bassoon and not wondering if your reed is working or not. Now, when I do those types of things to the reed, it does inevitably sacrifice some other parts. It might sacrifice a little bit of the tone quality. It might sacrifice some of the response up in the higher register by making it more responsive and beginner friendly. But as a beginner, you're not worried about those things. You're not going to be playing up in the high register for a while yet, and you're focused on just getting the notes to work. Now, if you say in the order notes that you're a more advanced player, I'm still going to finish the same reed and prioritize response just like I would a beginner reed, because we all need the reed to respond. But I might leave a little bit more cane on because you've developed some of the musculature and you probably don't need the reed to be paper thin. And if you're a pretty advanced player, you probably have some basic reed adjusting skills where you can do minor adjustments when you receive the reed to make it fit for you. When you see that soft, medium, hard designation on the reed, it's a big red flag saying that somebody is not taking the extra time and care to make sure that that particular piece of cane works. And it's not to say that, you buy these reeds and they aren't going to work. Some of them will work fine out of the box and be completely good to go. But 9 times out of 10, they need some type of adjustment. Unfortunately, beginners or folks who haven't been spent very long on bassoon gravitate towards those reeds because they're cheaper and you don't want to drop a bunch of money on equipment to play bassoon just yet. And then you get really frustrated because you're having trouble just getting basic sounds on the bassoon and you don't know if it's you or the reed, and spending the extra $10, $15 on a pro reed is going to get you a lot further in most cases than these kind of mass-produced reeds. I have a little bit of insider knowledge on it from at least one company, which I'm not going to name any companies or names because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But I do know for a fact that it's not uncommon for when the reed is just about to be finished and sent out, that if the reed gets play tested at all, that person will only spend a few minutes, if that, adjusting it before sending it out. And that's if it gets play tested. So sometimes reeds might be going out and no one's played on them to double check that they're going to work for somebody, much less a beginner type person who needs a very responsive, easy to play reed and can't make any adjustments of their own yet. Now, you may have already purchased reeds that are soft, medium, hard, and maybe they're not working for you. Or maybe you have just some random reeds sitting around that aren't really working for you very well, and you've just kind of set them aside, but they're still kind of new. They probably just need some basic adjustments, and it's probably adjustments that you could easily do even if you have no prior reed making experience. And that's why I created a bassoon reed adjusting guide specifically for non-reed makers. I'm going to link it down below. It's completely free, and it includes explanations and pictures and if this then that statements. Try doing some basic adjustments on them using that guide. Or if budget is a big concern and you just simply can't afford to buy better quality reeds, at least in the near future, then download the guide and buy the cheaper reeds and use that guide to adjust those reeds. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and comment any questions down below. I hope to see you in the next one.